Hey, good morning, Las Vegas. Thanks for joining us again on Realty Check, your local Las Vegas real estate news show. And on today's show, we're doing one of our special highlight shows where we highlight someone in the community that's doing great things. So we're really excited about that. Before we get started, I do want you guys to take a moment to like, comment, share with your friends. If you're watching our show, you're listening to it on any of the audio profiles out there, please download so you will be notified every Thursday when we release a new show. And with that, thank you so much for coming on our show. We have Damian Costa.
Thank you.
Yes. Pompey Entertainment is the company that he's with, and we're going to talk a lot about what that is, how you got started. Damian, I've known you for ever.
Quite a few years.
Quite a few years. So we actually grew up here together. We went to high school together. And Damian and his wife have done some amazing things in this community. So we really just want to talk about that and how you got started and what you do. The entertainment industry is such a big part of Las Vegas. So you're right there in the hub of it all. So that's going to be exciting to hear. Before we get into that, we do want to talk about what I mention every week in my world of real estate. So right now, current inventory. What inventory is, Damian, is how many homes are on the market currently. I track numbers of single-family homes, Las Vegas, Henderson, North Las Vegas area, just right here in the city.
Okay.
And how many homes are on the market and how many price reductions. So currently we have 1,846 homes on the market across all price points. So
sounds like a lot. Is that a lot?
No,
Okay.
no, not a lot at all. So
don't ask the entertainment guy. I'm not so up on that, but that's why we have you.
Yeah, exactly. So years ago, when we had done transactions together, we were probably hovering around 5,000 to 6,000 in inventory, and as you've seen, those homes sold very quickly.
Very quick.
And the all the terms were very good. And
thank you for that.
You're welcome. And as you can imagine, with 1846, the demand is insane that we have out there for buyers.
Sure. And the population coming to Las Vegas has not slowed in any way. In fact, I think it's increased from the numbers I understand. So when you have a lower availability for homes and a greater number of people coming, why is that? Are people buying them to convert them into rentals, or what do you see? That is definitely one of the things that's creating this. Another thing that's big is there's a lot of sellers out there that would like to sell, but they're seeing such low inventory and such little options of homes available. They're like, it just doesn't make sense. Where will I go? So there's a lot of people that studies have shown there's like 80% of sellers or potential sellers are really wanting and thinking of selling, but they're just too scared to move forward with it at this point because of the lack of inventory. So it's having a ripple effect on everything. So is it a trepidation on what may be available for them, as well as maybe playing the market to try to get the best out of what they may have in their asset of their home?
Correct. So what I think would be the most savvy way of doing it, if I were a seller, if I were thinking of selling in this market, would be to take advantage of because you can get the ideal terms, you can get the best price, you can call all the things. Take a 3 to 6 month lease back, sell the house, stay there as a renter for a few months so you can then be able to.
I'm glad you understand that stuff. That would be something well above my pay grade.
Yeah, so that's a great strategy, because I do feel like this shortage of inventory is not going to last forever. Last year, we had a lot of the year last year that had an inventory shortage, and then we had 3 to 4 months where things just leveled out and kind of slowed down a little bit. So some people missed the boat. If I were a potential seller right now, I'd do it right now before that ship sells and make sure to get the best out of it. But that's a hard, it's a hard thing to get through to people.
Again, that's why we have you.
Right.
I'll stay in the entertainment business.
Yeah, just imagine this is Sam's Club, right? So let's go in Sam's Club terms, or Costco, whatever you want. And the shelves are almost all empty.
Got it.
So if everything were to sell, if all the homes that were on the market right now were to sell, We'd have no homes.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so
and if you have a bidding war for the last can of whatever it is on the shelf, I guess that would be the situation that you're describing.
Yeah.
Interesting.
If there's one more can of green beans and that's the last one there, I don't know.
I wasn't sure what food you were going to pick.
That's the first thing that came to mind. I have no idea why, but one more can of green beans, it's the last one there, and then everyone starts bidding on it. I mean, that's kind of what we're dealing with right here in the housing market. It's odd. It's odd, and it is it's something historic. Never happened before. We've never had this low of inventory.
Well, again, thank you for everything that you've done to help us navigate, our real estate transactions. And it's humbling to hear all of the knowledge that you have and about the market, and being able to navigate it is quite something.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you. I appreciate that, Damian. So, Damian, let's talk about you. Your wife and yourself are just amazing people. I just want to say, like, when I'm highlighting people here in the community, I really try to make sure that it's just great people that are doing great things, and you guys are certainly that couple that just should be really highlighted, that people should see that are doing good things.
Well, in that case, Gina should certainly be sitting here, because she's certainly the one that keeps the community, I think, top of mind. And definitely, what an amazing person, the way that she drives us to being involved in everything from Cub Scouts to Girl Scouts to the PTA to the parties that we throw, the carnivals that we've held, our Halloween experience that we do. It feels like we do it more than once a year, but thank goodness Halloween only comes once a year, because I don't think our house could handle more than that.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. But she's really a star when it comes to keeping the community top of mind.
She is a superwoman, and she is so organized. Like,
yes.
Every time I'm just like so impressed of like the organization and the creativity. This Halloween thing, if you guys have if you're around Mountain's Edge area at Halloween time, you will hear about this, because there's lines just everywhere, and they do such an amazing display. It is an experience. It's last year.
And what's beautiful about what happens at Halloween around our neighborhood is it has become a neighborhood thing. And so not only have people come, and we'll just find stuff on our doorsteps to help us. They'll find out what the theme is, and they'll bring it to us. And then other houses around us will grab the theme and participate. And it's really turned into a community event, somewhat not by accident, but just through doing positive things and positive communication, and making sure that we keep our youth in mind first.
Yes.
Right? And doing something safe for the youth. So anyways, that's kind of the theme of our lives.
Yes, and I'm sure just the people in the community love you guys for that, for what you've brought to them, for all the excitement.
Unless you're trying to park in the neighborhood, then they're not loving us.
They'll get over that. It's
fun.
only one day. So that, and along with that, you guys are really big in the foster community. You guys are helping change lives of children and taking children into your home. And you guys are, if I could say like just great star parents. I don't know how to say it. You guys have raised wonderful children. Your son's in the Army. Your daughter is such an amazing, glowing, just wonderful person. Your kids are in sports. You guys are really, you raise the type of children. You do the type of parenting that should be modeled. So you're not only doing that for your children, but you're now bringing other children into your house. So that is a wonderful thing.
Well, thank you for that. I will tell you that being a part of the community and doing what we can for the future of who's going to actually be responsible for bringing this community to the next level, again, is a focus that we've always had. In fact, Gina grew up, and I think I did as well, through the daycare systems, making sure, and I don't mean like us going to daycare. I mean, Gina has been a part of daycare. They own a daycare, First Step Kids Care, and always making sure that the youth and the children have a good head start. And being a part of the foster program and some of the other programs that we're involved in, from youth sports. When we say youth sports, we don't just shove our kids into youth sports, right? The goal and what we try to inspire others to do is to get involved. The more involved you can be in the school, more you can be involved in youth sports or these programs, it really starts to set a model for what they can do themselves. not
Right.
what we can do. What we can do is limited to just our two hands. But when we can show a group of 10 or 20, young ones what they're capable of, and we're of that age now, right? You see the silver in the hairs, is that you see that it's coming around again. And I'll have people come by the neighborhood and just say hi, or we'll be in the grocery store and really get that feedback from families and from some of those young ones that we were just kind of there for, I guess, in a way.
Yeah.
And so thank you for that. But
thank
I
you.
think it's a responsibility that all of us have. If you're good at it, if you can do it, take a moment to just volunteer in some way.
Yeah, most definitely. And I mean, our kids are our future. So
Right,
it's
and
kind
your
of
children as well.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Artistic.
Thank you very
And
much. Yes.
I very much look forward to hearing more music from your boy.
Oh yeah, yeah. We've not talked about that on the show, but yes, he is definitely working on his music career. So growing in that. Yeah, our kids are our future. So it's more investing into the future. Into our tomorrow when we are helping raise good children, helping influence other kids. Definitely, it's not for nothing.
It's for everything.
It's for
in a way,
everything.
yes.
It is for everything. You want a better tomorrow, it starts with the youth today. So,
Well put.
Damian, you have quite a interesting story of how you got into the entertainment industry and where you are now. So can we talk a little bit about that?
Sure, I can talk a lot about it, but I'll try to talk a little about it. Just quickly, the story that I think is a Vegas-only sort of story.
Yes.
I will tell in kind of a fun way that I'm now a director of entertainment for the South Point after being in the industry for close to 15 years.
Okay.
And I'm having breakfast with my father, which I try to do as often as possible.
That's good.
And on the way out, he always asks, who do you have coming in this weekend? I don't know if he really cares, but it's a good conversation to end our breakfast. And I said, well, we have Shecky Green. And he says, well, you're alive because of Shecky Green. So I don't know if you know who
Wow.
Shecky Green is, but Shecky Green was the comic of comics, like Don Rickles in the day here in Las Vegas. Those say Elvis Presley days, because I think a lot of your viewers will understand that timing. And so, well, please do tell. And come to find out that my grandparents on the Costa side actually moved to Las Vegas to be the opening act for the comedian Shecky Green. So
wow.
they played a lot of the showrooms and a lot of the lounges here in town. And on the other side, my mother's side, Grandpa Hartman played for Elvis Presley and Paul Anka and you name it. And so I had a unique experience in my life where I was actually able to introduce my mother to a number of her childhood idols.
That's amazing.
Yeah, Andy Williams. I was able to introduce her to Andy Williams. And then what's another fun story is she's in the elevator with my grandfather, who's a horn player for the show at Caesars back in I guess it would have been 60s.
Okay.
And there was a young man, a boy, a kid in the elevator, Donny Osmond. And so she got to meet Donny Osmond as a child, and then years later I end up working with Donny quite extensively, Donny and Marie at the Flamingo, and then Donny opens his show at Harrah's. And so those are kind of Vegas-only stories, right? Where you get to say, hey, now, Mom, remember Donny when you guys were children, and here he is, headlining the Strip still, and again, in such a great way.
Yeah, that's amazing. I'm sure your parents were super excited every time, that you've been able to bring that to them.
Yeah, possibly. I would say that I think we've all stayed in the entertainment industry. Well, my parents have not. I think things, skip a generation. I've definitely been inspired by hearing the stories of what my grandparents were able to do, and to see the joy that it's brought to the community, and to see the commerce, right? And to see the economic growth that comes from really Las Vegas focusing on entertainment first, bringing joy to people's lives, bringing once-in-a-lifetime opportunities to people's lives. That will never go away. We will always be seeking that. And to be involved in that in any way, in any large or small or whatever piece of the puzzle that you can play to be a part of bringing joy to people's lives through entertainment, I'm humbled to be a part of that.
That's wonderful. Did you seek out to get into entertainment when you first started?
No, actually, at El Dorado High School, I had heard of the university, and we'd better start planning for what's next after El Dorado.
Right.
And so I wanted to get a job, any job that I possibly could, with the university. And a family member had just started at the Thomas and Mack Center and set me up with a really prestigious job as a parking lot attendant. Now, that's not a valet person. That is a person that is waving cars down to tell them which parking spot is next.
Oh, okay. So I'm sure you almost got ran over many times.
Oh, I hopefully never intentionally, but yes. So I kind of led from that, and I got involved in the production side. I got involved in the technology and in the marketing. And shortly thereafter, I ended up helping with the design and build of the Orleans Arena. I opened the Orleans Arena with a mentor of mine, and respect him more than I could ever explain, Steve Stallworth, who is now operating the arena at the South Point. So we opened the Orleans Arena. So this all kind of has happened through sports and entertainment. I ended up running the entertainment division at the South Point for Michael Gaughan, and working alongside with Steve Stallworth again, which was great. And so really there's where I got to meet a lot of the stars. I got to hone in my expertise a little bit on how you treat artists properly, how you really make sure that employees are well taken care of, which is the Gaughan, Michael Gaughan, South Point philosophy is that employees are first.
Right.
And entertainers, therefore, are also first, right?
Yes, of course.
And then we treat our customers right. So I kind of fell into it that way, right? Is through doing a lot of work through the university at the Thomas and Mack Center, and then falling into more of the casino side by, I guess, creating a good reputation and from treating people well.
Yeah, an amazing reputation. So you made it. I mean, you definitely have made a quite a name for yourself.
I
Tell
appreciate
us
that.
About Pompey Entertainment.
So Pompey Entertainment, I just kind of stopped that story a little bit at the South Point. I ended up spending about 9.5 years at Caesars Entertainment. So I've been gone from Caesars for about 6 months, but for the 9 years before that, I had the privilege of working with Jason Gassworth, who is one of the greatest entertainment minds, and Kurt Meline, who's now the president of Live Nation for Las Vegas, and really great people that really saw the ability to bring mega stars to Las Vegas, and while also acknowledging production shows and also seeing the fact that entertainment's changing a bit, right? So everyone will always want to go see the megastar. That will never change.
Yeah.
The interesting thing is that everything has become a little bit of social media and quicker clips and things like that. So when you have a specific artist that you really appreciate, and maybe Las Vegas is the only place that you can see that star that you've grown to appreciate, how can you find the right size venue, the right ticket price, and then an audience that will come and visit them only in Las Vegas?
Right.
So with my experience at Caesars Entertainment and understanding that from those great people, I said, I think I would like to have my hand at bringing in my own artists that I think are right for Las Vegas, finding the right venues for them, and so we've done that through Pompey.
Yes.
Pompey Entertainment is kind of born from the need to bring in great entertainment into Las Vegas. Not just on the Strip, but we're focusing on some of those properties right now.
Okay.
And so that's Pompey. It's born of a need to bring great entertainment to to the people that are coming to Vegas. I will say that our goals are to manage artists the right way.
Okay.
To manage shows, which is different from artists, right?
Of course.
Managing an artist, you can be helping them navigate what they should be doing next. Managing a show or producing a show is sometimes goes hand in hand, but is very different because you are trying to bring the best out of a collection of people to operate together, and then to manage a few venues.
Right.
So here in short time, we'll be announcing a number of venues that we will be managing in a number of ways, right? Sometimes more booking and programming, and sometimes operating holistically.
Okay. And what are some of the shows that you're that you're doing? And on that note, we'll talk about what we have for our guests today.
Always promoting.
Yes.
So a few shows, we definitely want to bring smiles to everyone's face. So
Yes.
I try to make sure that what we're focused on is that, right? Is having a little fun, being a little quirky, and really just bringing joy to people's lives. So Farrell Dillon is a comedy magician. Magic show at Bally's Magic Attic, and I've brought some passes for you and your viewers, so you can do with those as you would like. It's a great family-friendly show for all ages. I say that Farrell is the dad jokes of magic.
Okay.
He has just great. You will go into the show wanting to have some fun, and you will leave not understanding how you were able to laugh that long, that hard, that for that long, and really. He's just a great person and doing some good things for the community as well.
Yeah, he is an awesome person. I apologize for the noise.
That's fine. So Leo's will be bringing to the Bally's Magic Attic as well. Leo's uses comedy to also bring his magical superpowers you have to see Leo's show. It is it's just a riot. It's so much fun. It is definitely more adult themed. It's not one to bring the kiddos to.
Okay, good.
But it's a 10 o'clock show and a lot of fun. Another show that I would recommend that I think is a fantastic, large production show in a great property where you can have a lot of fun doing a number of different activities and really just exhilarating experiences would be at the Strat Illuminate. And Illuminate is, you may have seen them on AGT.
Okay.
And where they have the light suits, and it's a very dark room, and these light suits shine, and the way that they dance and present, this big production show is really fantastic. So Illuminate would be another one that I think your viewers would enjoy.
Illuminate, and that's at the Strat.
Yeah, at the Strat. And also very family friendly.
Yes.
It is for all ages, and it's one that, like, when you say family friendly, people start thinking about 5-year-olds. That's sure, everyone will enjoy the show, but this is when you have that teenager at home that you're not really sure what show you can bring them to and what they'd appreciate. They will love the music in this show. They will love the the technology really brings it to life without feeling like a technological show.
Okay. All right, wonderful. So, and that's over at the Strat. And where is Farrell Dillon? I know
and Leo's,
where he's at.
yep, is Bally's.
Okay.
On the Strip, right on Flamingo.
Yeah.
It's called the Magic Attic. So it's
The
a
Magic Attic.
very nice, intimate space where you can just have a lot of fun.
I've seen the billboards all throughout the Strip.
Yes, well, thank you for that. That's he's really done a great job. He loves his bus. We wrapped a bus with 7 Farrells on it, and it's quite fun to have that experience for him.
Yeah, and Leo's is also at Bally's?
Yep, Leo's will be the 10 o'clock spot where Farrell is the 6 o'clock.
Okay, so you can bring the kids for the 6 o'clock.
There you go.
Then drop them off and leave them in the hotel room.
No, bring them to a responsible nanny.
Bring them to a nanny, and then come back for Leo's.
It's definitely a good time.
Yeah. Most definitely. And one thing that I do want to let our watchers know is that on our show, where if you're comment on the Facebook post that we have going out there for the video, you are going to be entered into a drawing that we're going to have. We'll do the drawing tomorrow, so we'll give you throughout the day to do your likes, comments, and you're going to be entered into a drawing to get 2 tickets for the Farrell Dillon show at the Bally's. So that's exciting. Thank you, Damian, so much for doing that.
Of course. Thank you.
Thank you. And so with Pompey Entertainment, you said it's been about 6 months?
That's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
we've been open for about 6 months. We've done some great things.
Yeah, you guys have. I mean, just that's what I'm saying, for being so new, for 6 months in the industry, or not in the industry, 6 months of
Sure.
being started. You've already been bringing great things to Vegas. What do you have planned for the future?
Well, here in a few weeks, we will be announcing a rock venue with an exciting group of partners that have great experience. There will be a restaurant component. There will actually be an art exhibit, a
Really?
rock and roll art exhibit,
Sweet.
an arcade, a fantastic bar, and a really intimate rock venue where memories are going to be made. Sometimes you'll be remembering the past, right? So, and sometimes we'll be bringing you the music of the future. We're very excited about being able to play original music while also appreciating some of the music that's already been popular for a number of years. So we'll be opening that venue here late spring.
Okay.
And you'll have a number of shows there a week that will be for everyone. Right,
Yeah.
so you'll find your spot. So we're very excited about bringing that rock venue to Las Vegas. It's something that I think we need. We're kind of missing, right?
Yes.
So you have a lot of venues that are very specific to, or a lot of moments that are very specific with certain artists. This is going to really celebrate rock and roll, and you're going to have food, and again, like an arcade. Like, what's more about what puts you in that '80s rock mode more than being able to play a little Pac-Man.
Oh my gosh! So it's going to be like one of those arcades that just has all of the nostalgic different.
We will have definitely. It's going to get you in the nostalgia mode, and then an art exhibit that you can wander about and learn about and see these photos that you're not seeing. And we see so many photos on social media. We see whatever is being fed to us, but these are going to be really. Moments in time that we'll remember that we haven't been able to see backstage at that concert we were at.
That's wonderful.
Or see how maybe a studio session had happened and what that photo looks like. And then you can kind of get lost in that while the rockers are kind of shredding on stage.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That sounds amazing.
It's a very unique experience that we're designing, developing, and very, we're ready.
Yeah.
Our feet are on the starting blocks.
Where's this going to be located at? Or
So-
are you allowed to say?
Yeah, so that will come out,
Okay.
and we'll come back.
To
and
be
we'll,
announced.
And we'll make sure we have some tickets for
Yes.
for your viewers on that as well.
That sounds really
with a number of
exciting.
shows, yeah.
That sounds very exciting.
That's a little
Wonderful.
bit of what Pompey does, right? So we want to bring more of the experiences that you can do individually, and then how can you mash those things up and really lose yourself in that moment in time and have a great experience.
And I think that is something that is people want, they need, they desire. You don't just want to go sit down somewhere and watch something. You want to feel part of it. You want to
Sure.
live and experience the whole. Bring you back in that time. So
Well, we're banking on it. That's certainly the goal.
oh, that is so exciting.
Thank you.
And you said there's going to be a restaurant as well, or food?
Yeah. So there'll be where you can actually order food while you're at the show, or you can actually step away and there will be a restaurant, that's serving really good quality, but also quick, right? Like, so you don't have to sit there for an hour and a half. When we're going to a show, we like to sit, have a nice, time, but also be able to get into having some fun with the music.
Yeah, for sure. Well, wow, that's wonderful. I had no idea that. That is a surprise to me too.
You asked for a surprise.
Yes, I'm very excited to hear that. Is there anything else that you'd like our listeners to or our viewers to know before?
Well, to know, I've just hired one of the greatest employees. I have my boy working for me now. So
Do you
yeah.
really?
So if you're ever at the Magic Attic, you'll meet my son.
Okay.
And so, anyways, that's kind of a full circle. But I think what I would like to say is to kind of bring things together here is that, first of all, you do such a fantastic job.
Thank you, Damian.
And commitment to excellence is something that it's really hard to find. Not necessarily here in town. I think we actually have a lot of people that work in their specific industries that are actually trying to give to the community in the right way. Find those individuals that are doing the right things for the community and work with them. I like to think of this time in my life where I'm going to work with people that I want to work with more,
Yes.
and kind of work a little bit less with the people that maybe, I'd like to spend a little bit less time with. I
Right.
think that's the way to put it.
Well, it's the old saying, quality over quantity.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And you certainly bring a certain level of commitment and service that I just think is fantastic. You make everything feel like a personal, you put a personal touch to everything, which is how I try to run my business. And then from the youth side, please get out there, volunteer any way that you possibly can. If you have any of the time, if you feel like you don't have the time, but maybe you know somebody that does. We've had so many coaches, touch our lives in such a positive way and really give guidance to our children that oftentimes we get to take credit for.
Right.
And sometimes I think with us coaching or volunteering or just giving a little bit of time back to the school or the community in any way possible, I would just encourage everybody to take that time to do that if they can.
Yeah, most definitely. I feel like I have more of a passion for the youth in the world in general than the adults. Again, like I said earlier, they're shaping our future. Mm-hmm. So whatever you can do to help a kid, show them, teach them something. I mean, we learned so many things along the way. This is something that I feel like I've learned in business through coaching and just different self-improvement things that we learned as we grow older. Take the time to talk to a teenager or a kid growing up about that. Like it can help shape their life. It can help change their path.
And how you run your business with the passion that we're talking about, and how I try to run my business with the passion, also has to come with a little bit of not trying to be so grown up.
Right.
So oftentimes we forget that we all remember those times. And if you hear a little bit of what I'm talking about with comedy magic or laughing or smiling or building this rock venue, to be able to remember those times of being a little bit more youthful, that all should inspire us as adults to say, hey, let's remember why we're doing this. Let's remember to have some fun.
Yeah.
And to do it in that passionate way. So thank you for doing that and what you do.
Well, thank you, Damian. And thank you for bringing entertainment to the city. I mean, this is a city of entertainment, and I really love that you're creating such a unique venue. It doesn't sound like anything that we really have here. So I'm excited to find out more information about that.
Sounds great.
Yes. And again, we have these Farrell Dillon tickets for this is a magician comedy show. If you don't know who he is, I said his name earlier because I think everybody knows who he is. But if you have not found out about Farrell yet, this is a comedy magician show at the Bally's. Super funny. We have 2 tickets for you. Like, comment on the video, and you will be entered into a drawing to be the winner for those. So that is super exciting. Thanks again, Damian. And if people need to reach out to you, if there's any questions or anything that any of our listeners or viewers have, how do they reach you?
I think the best way to get a hold of Pompey is info. Of course, we all have info@pompey.com, right?
Okay.
So that's the best way. And then also, I think you'll see on the screen my email, my company phone number, and reach out. Again, if you have an entertainer that needs maybe some guidance or looking for what it is that's coming up next.
Yes, and this is something you do. So entertainers that are looking for venues to create their image to grow, this is where your specialty is.
Right.
Yes, wonderful. Thank you, Damian. It's been such a pleasure to have you here today.
Thank you.
And thank you guys for watching the show. Please, again, like, comment, share, tell your friends about us, and we will look forward to seeing you next week on Realty Check.